Alright everybody, for this video we're going to go ahead and do a review. Maybe a little chopped up because I tried to do some of these before, but I tend to run my damn mouth instead of actually doing the review. So we're going to try and keep this to just the topic at hand, which today is the Sig Sauer P365. Right, so we in safety check, safety not dissatisfied. This is my everyday carry gun. This is the Sig Sauer P365. This one has the TLR6 Streamlight flashlight attached to it. I don't use the laser on it, but I do use the light. Works pretty good for the ranges you would probably use this gun. So we're going to go over and just check off a bunch of checkpoints to try and keep me on track and not wandering off into the wilderness of talking about everything on the planet except for what I'm trying to review here. Today's episode is not sponsored by Bundaberg, but it could be. I really like your products. This blood orange soda is awesome. They also make the best ginger beer ever. They're Australian, mate. It's great. Some people don't like Sig Sauer. Some people love Sig Sauer. I will post my disclaimer here. I am a Sig Sauer fan. What does that mean? It means I like Sig Sauer's products. I own quite a few Sig Sauer pistols. I absolutely adored all of them except for a couple as far as pistols. I've owned a couple Sig Sauer rifles. Those are not as good as the pistols. I'll get into that at some other time, but I did own a couple of Sig rifles I just didn't care for, but I've had good luck with all their pistols. Number one, features. Well, features of this gun, fairly simple. So it's Sig Sauer's, I don't know what you want to call it, super micro compact. It's a very small gun. It was known when it was first released for being the first subcompact gun with a basically double stack magazine size. So 10 rounds in the flush fit magazine, 12 rounds in the extended, and then now a 15 round magazine as well. So that was cool when it came out. Definitely something I'm interested in, having something this small with having 10 rounds in the flush fit magazine in it. Because I used to carry a Sig P938 and that had way less rounds in the flush fit magazine. So this is cool. So it is a striker fired gun. It does have Sig's night sights on there. It's a very big dot in the front. You got some very tiny ones in the back there. Let's see if you can focus on that. It's very easy to aim at the range. If you're unfamiliar with these, obviously the standard pistol controls. So you've got your magazine release here. What is there to say? It's functional, who cares? It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's a tiny subcompact 9mm. You're just gonna get what you're gonna get, basically. You've got the slide lock, slide release, whatever you want to call it, and then you've got your takedown lever here. So you just lock that to the rear, and then this takedown lever, turn the disassembly lever down, and then you can simply pull the slide off. So on the inside here, if we can make her focus, yo, you basically got your steel rails. They go from the mid all the way back. This whole piece is a fire control unit, much like your P320. Sig doesn't really advertise it as being modular, but I'll tell you that when I got this gun, the person I traded it from had done a home stippling job on it. They basically ripped your hand into shreds, and I knew I wanted to replace it with just the default grip. So this pin on the back, we can focus in here. This pin, all you need to do is drive this pin out, and the whole fire control unit comes out just like a P320. Oh, I'm sorry, well, and then you can replace the grip module just like on the P320. The only difference is this only has disc grip module, unless you buy, I forget the name of the company. There's a company that makes an aluminum frame, and now I believe Grey Ghost Guns makes some replacement frames for it as well. I'll put up links to those if I can find them. But from Sig, they only have this one. But if you screw it up or smash it or something, you can replace this frame so your gun is not ruined. It's basically the fire control unit that you need, and your takedown lever, and then a slide and a barrel, and all that stuff is replaceable too. So these are essentially the same in that you can replace everything. The actual firearm is the fire control unit. Yeah, through the magic of editing. So your serial number, again, is on the fire control unit, just like a P320. So it's pretty much a modular gun. They just don't advertise it like that. It's essentially just like any other pistol slide. So you've got your, ouch, you've got your recoil spring. This is kind of similar to like a Glock 26, or well, now I guess like all the Glock Gen 4s and 5s have these same two-part recoil assemblies. So you've got the two separate rods that intertwine, and then you've got two separate springs on here, like a Glock 26 or Gen 4 or Gen 5 Glock. This is your itty bitty tiny little barrel. So small. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. I see you. Yeah, that's it. It's all the barrel you get. And then your slide. So you see, you've got pretty much the typical Sig marks on the inside where the barrel hood rubs on the inside of the slide there. It's similar, sort of, to a Glock construction. So if you want to clean the striker channel, take this apart. Just take everything, strip it down like you normally would. I guess you don't have to take the barrel out if you don't want to, but if you're cleaning it anyway, why not? So you've got some of the same parts as a Glock here. This is the safety for the striker that has to be depressed before it will fire. You've got your striker, the back part of the striker, striker channel in here, and then you've got the back plate that holds everything on. The difference with the Glock, you don't have the plunger that goes through and holds on your extractor. There's actually a roll pin that goes all the way through from top to bottom. I don't know if I can show this, but this actually, you can't see my finger through there, but this roll pin goes all the way through from top to bottom, and that's what holds your extractor and the extractor spring in there. So to take the back part off is a little different than a Glock. There's a little piece. So this is easier to see. There's a little plunger thing here. See that? And that, you just have to kind of pull that down either with a tiny screwdriver, or what I recommend every gun owner own is a set of punches. Just take a punch and push this down. I'm not going to be able to do this holding a flashlight. Trust me when I tell you I'm pushing this plunger down. And then just slide this back plate off, just like a Glock. And it just comes off. This is just a back plate, very similar to the way a Glock or a lot of striker fire guns are put together. So then you're going to see on the back here, you've got your striker assembly. You're going to push in the safety plunger. And I'm going to try to do this on camera. Let's see if I'm successful. How many things I can juggle at once. Push in the safety plunger. And pull your striker assembly out. And you got to hold that plunger in when you're pulling it out because it'll catch on the spring. Your striker assembly. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. Very similar to a Glock. So you've got the little plastic piece that holds the striker. You've got your actual striker that goes through the little plastic piece and then catches on the back here. And you've got a spring held in place by a spring cup. Exactly the same way Glock does it, except for there's no polymer striker channel in the actual firing channel in the gun. But this assembly is built the exact same way. I'll probably lose that. And I'm holding this, so you're going to want to pay attention when you take this apart. there's actually a, and of course the spring doesn't want to come out with it. It'll fall on the floor and I'll lose it. This is your little safety assembly, just like the safety plunger on a Glock basically. And there's a little spring in here that doesn't want to cooperate and come out. But that spring is just like the one on Glock. It holds this tension on this. Let's see if I can put this back in with the spring in there. So to put it together, you basically just put that plunger back in. And you're again going to need to hold that plunger in. And you're going to wish you had 3 hands. Hold that plunger in, and then, you know, if you take this whole assembly apart to clean it or whatever, put it back together, and it just slides back in. Once you got it back in there, just let go of that plunger and it's retained. And then you're going to want to lose the back plate. Yeah. And then you're going to take your back plate that you didn't lose like me. This is actually very simple to put in. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Just put a little bit of pressure on the top of the striker assembly on the back. Oh my god, I say it's super easy and then I can't do it. There you go. So just put a little bit of pressure on the striker assembly. And then this fits right in to the slots on the bottom here. And just push it in. And it's ramped in such a way as it'll hold that striker assembly in when you push it in. Now, to reassemble, obviously you're going to take your slide, put your barrel back in your slide, put your recoil assembly back in. God, if this is choppy, I apologize. My camera keeps overheating. Actually, my wife's camera. Fucking camera. So you've got your slide all assembled again. You're going to put it back on the frame. Now, some 365s, there's a little trick. You'll notice this lever does not want to, well, now it does. Of course, when I'm trying to show you, it's not going to work. There we go. Sometimes it won't let you turn it past this point. The trick is to push up on the slide stop lever, and then you can pull it down fully. Then you're going to put the slide back on the top here. Now, if this stops, and I'm going to see if we can point this out on the camera. There is a little piece here. If this does not want to go on, this little piece here on the fire control unit will pop up sometimes, and you are not going to be able to get the slide on because it hits the cover on the back. So all you need to do is just move the cover forward a little bit, take a punch, and just push that piece so that it lies flat in there, and then your slide will click back into place. Alright, so then once you get it past that piece, you get the slide on, activate the slide, stop, rotate that closed, and let the slide rocket home. And that's it. That's pulling it apart and putting it back together. Now you just, like any striker fire gun, you want to keep that striker channel clean and you want to keep it dry. Don't put lube in the striker channel. That's the best way to mess up your gun. Don't do that. I mean, it's a tiny little pistol for concealed carry. So yeah, moving on to number 2. I guess what you would call philosophy of use, or what the hell is this gun for? Not so much a range toy. This is more of a concealed carry, everyday concealed carry handgun. I carry this appendix. You know, you can conceal this thing almost under anything. I mean, oh, there it's gone. It's gone. Oh, gone. Like it fits in my hand. So, yeah. I mean, this is obviously a CCW weapon, and that's pretty much it. You're not going to be making 100-yard shots with this thing. Reliability. So I have put in well over 2,000 rounds on this. I don't keep exact count of my rounds. I just know from the number of 500 round boxes that I've run through this, it's definitely over 2,000. I've had one stoppage in this gun, and that was my most recent range trip. I was using terrible Winchester steel ammo, and it failed to extract, and so it double fed. That is the only, in over 2,000 rounds, it's the only hiccup I've ever had, and that was definitely the terrible, terrible ammo that it doesn't really work well in any of my pistols. So, yeah, I mean, this thing is, I would consider this extremely reliable. Now this is the really shitty steel Winchester ammo, and that's the first time I've ever had a problem with my 365, so I'm gonna chalk that up to shitty ammo. Boom! In case you're wondering what kind of ammo I don't recommend, it would be the Winchester shitball ammo. Don't buy this. Are you still running? Yeah. You see the sweat dripping in my... I can barely see out of these. It's terrible. It's so... It's not hot, it's humid as hell. It's actually only like 80 right now. I don't have a shot timer, by the way, so beep. And make sure 11 is dead because I missed him the first time. Yeah, so the manufacture date on this is the 30th of March, 2018. So this is supposedly in the unreliable range. Before Sig had fixed the strike or drag and all of the terrible, terrible mishaps with this gun. I traded for this gun. I actually traded my 938 straight up for this gun, and the previous owner, I don't know if he had problems with it or not, but I haven't had a single problem since I got it. I don't see any excessive strike or drag or anything unusual for a striker fire pistol on this. So in my mind, I have no problems relying on this every day. Number 4, trigger. It's a striker fired gun. Cock it. You got a little bit of take up there. And then boop, kind of a smooth pull through. And you have a fairly short reset on this. And then it just pulls straight through the wall after the reset. And you'll see, I'll insert some shooting footage in here, but I have no problem running this gun fairly fast and keeping the rounds on target with this trigger. I don't know as I would fix this trigger at all. I think it's fine. I have no complaints about it. I stopped it dead. Ow, it's hot. Yeah. Indexed my finger along the side and scorched it, so yeah. There's no way I'm putting this back in my pants for the ride home. I got gloves, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, that's much better. Not burning myself now. Next point, 5, accuracy. Again, I can run this thing super fast at the range, and put all of the rounds in 9 and 10, or on a steel target. At the ranges you would probably use this on, so we're talking like under 50 feet. Over 50 feet, you can't run it as fast and maintain the same accuracy, but I mean, you could still make shots out fairly far with this. Yeah, as far as accuracy, I mean, it's just like my other SIGs. It's more accurate than I am. Accessories. And you can actually buy just a slide version of that. So like for my gun, I could buy a slide with the SIG anti-snag and no ports on it, and just swap that onto my gun. So that's an option. Obviously everybody does backing plates for everything, so you can find those. You've got 3 different levels of magazine for this. So you've got a 10 round flush fit, you got a 12 round with either an extended pinky or flat, and then you've got a 15 round magazine for this as well that kind of sticks out a little bit. Now, these do have the flat base magazines, and they do have extended magazines. The extended magazines on these are 12 rounds. They do have 15 round magazines. I don't own one yet. I don't know if I would carry the 15 round. It would kind of stick out. Lights on this, you do have a little bit of choice here as far as like the compact weapon lights that you could put on here. I know there's a company, or maybe more than one now, that makes a pick rail add-on for these, so you could put like an O-Light Mini Valkyrie or something of that nature on here. This is again a stream light. This fits right on SIG's proprietary rail and little notch thing under there, and goes around the trigger guard here. I don't like the add-on rails. They just put the lights down too far. You'd be angling your finger a lot to activate that Valkyrie. I have a Valkyrie and I like it, but I don't think I would like that on here. It'd just be down too low. Ooh, thunder. So yeah, in conclusion here, we're gonna throw in some shots of me shooting and be cool. Oh yeah. But in conclusion, this is a great CCW gun. Love it. Trust my life to it. Shoots really well. The one thing you do want to be aware of is this has an extremely short barrel. It's about 3 inches long. And obviously what that means, anytime you look at a bullet and it gives you the data, like a default data for it, like feet per second out of the barrel of the gun, at the muzzle, foot-pounds of energy, it's not going to be that for a gun this small. The less barrel you have, generally speaking, on a pistol, the less powder is going to burn in the barrel, and the more you're going to waste outside of it. So you get some flash. This definitely has some flash to it. And with 3-inch barrel, so for a good comparison, we have falling plates at a bunch of different pistol pits at my range. And with a Mark 25 or an M17, or pick a regular size pistol, but any of my 9mm pistols with longer barrels will knock those plates down with authority. They fall over with a clank and they stay down. And I'll try to put some footage in, see if I can find it. I've shot the plates with this gun before, and I'll think I missed, and then I go back and look at the video footage, and you can see that the bullet spangs off the metal and hits the ground underneath, but it doesn't knock the plate over. It's because of the short barrel. It doesn't have the same amount of power coming out of this barrel that it has coming out of a larger one. So that's just something to be aware of. It's a limitation of these tiny guns. Less barrel equals less foot-pounds of energy equals less velocity coming out of the barrel. But the trade-off is that I can stick this in my pants and nobody can see it. Whereas if I stick my Not-A-Glock 20 in my pants, somebody's going to ask me what the hell is wrong. So yeah, in conclusion, this is a great carry gun. Just be aware you know, when you pick a carry gun this small, there are some trade-offs. They'd be a little harder to shoot. Little guns are a lot less forgiving. They have more perceived recoil because it's going into your hand and your wrist and not being soaked up by the mass of the gun as much. But other than that, I love the P365. Until I find something, you know, new or comparable, this is going to be my daily carry for the foreseeable future. I would like to try out the Springfield Hellcat. Yeah, they've one-upped it by 1 round. Whoop-de-doo. But it does look interesting. I wouldn't mind trying one just to see. But I don't think for 1 round, I'm not going to trade this in anytime soon. But yeah, those are my thoughts, my little review on the P365. I hope you enjoy it. Again, guys, thanks for the subscriptions and the likes. That's what keeps me doing this. Keep it up. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you don't like the video. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me why you don't like the video. Tell me you hate the sound of my voice. Tell me I'm stupid. I don't know. Just leave a comment and let me know. Alright? We'll see you next time. Alright, ready?
Okay.
The one bad thing about a subcompact 9mm and practicing from your holster, it's a bit warm in the breeches after you've been firing a bit. It's a bit, yeah, you fry the bits down here. Fucking hot. Is that enough light? Should be enough light. I feel like every week I'm gonna steal an intro from like some famous YouTuber. What's up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Or, hey everyone, it's Donut. Juggle. So, very like exactly the same way Glock does it, except for there's no oh my god, I can't see. What was I saying? And if I'm shaking, it's because I dance around like a crazy person, like I have ADHD. I don't. Anyway, what else? That's it. Go away. We're done. Bye.